Hello, everybody. Welcome to Beyond Epilepsy with Calamari. Today, I would like to explore three myths that we have in the epilepsy world. I have battled epilepsy for over 31 years of my life, and I would like to explore some myths that we have in the epilepsy world, precisely three of them. So, let's begin. The first myth we have is medication is the only solution. And that is not true. As we know, pharmaceuticals save lives, but they're not the only path. Holistic strategies like anti-inflammatory herbs, aka CBD, THC, lemon balm, moringa. I can go on, but we have an idea. And stress in reducing practices can support medical treatment, but never quit prescriptions without your doctor's guidance. So basically, we can tell that there are other avenues to helping epilepsy, but medication is not the only way. I am a fervent believer in Jesus Christ. My faith has been a very strong tower for me. Over the years, my faith has been part of my healing in epilepsy. And with that, I would like to add a lot of biblical scripture throughout my videos whenever I post. So if you don't mind, I have a biblical backup for my first myth. And the biblical backup for this myth is Jeremiah 30:17, which it says, I will restore health to you and heal you of your wounds. God provides healing through many pathways, but not only through medication. God never only created, He even created medication, but He created natural herbs and other things. But we came and we created medication. So medication is not the only pathway to healing in epilepsy, but we have a lot of resources to help in healing epilepsy. So the second myth we have is herbal remedies are always safe and gentle. Now, that is not entirely true. Yes, herbal remedies are a very good path to help in healing epilepsy, but not all herbs are good for everybody. Herbs like ginkgo or even primrose can trigger seizures if misused. Safety is very important first. Work with a holistic practitioner, especially if you take medications when you, especially that we all do that. Natural Pathways, which is my ebook, details herb drug interactions in chapter 3. So please do check that out because I do explain all the herbs and other holistic approaches that we can take into helping with epilepsy. And I do explain um, which herbs are good for epilepsy. And although I did not explain which ones are not good, as I explained just now, ginkgo is not a good herb for everyone. Although it might work for one, it might not work for another. So be very mindful of which one or which herbs you consume, and always observe how your body reacts to each herb or whichever approach you use to or whichever natural approach you use to help with epilepsy. My biblical backup for this is Proverbs 11:14, which says, "Where there is no counsel, the people fall. But in a multitude of counselors, there is safety. Seek wisdom and don't experiment alone." So be very mindful and wise in the way you explore different things in life, and always seek advice and wisdom from others, and especially from God if you are a believer. As I said earlier, I'm a very strong believer in Jesus Christ, and He has always been the one that has helped in my journey in healing with epilepsy. And I've always seek His face, His wisdom, His advice in everything I did. Currently, I'm a very big consumer of moringa, CBD, and THC when it comes to herbs. And it's through God that I discovered these herbs and holistic approaches for my healing in epilepsy. And He was the one that guided me to these herbs and holistic approaches. So I will suggest the same for you, to be able to communicate with Him and talk with your friends, your family, and everyone around you to see what they think. And but I always say, first and foremost, ask God. Our third and last myth that we have is people with epilepsy can live full and purposeful lives, and that is a big fat lie, because I am a very big testimony of living my life to the fullest. Um, when God started telling me, or giving me, things about natural approaches to healing in my epilepsy journey, my life started going a whole different route. And it was not going to the worst, it was going to the better. My life is a whole lot different now. I feel much better. I am doing much better. I live life much better. I am more happy. I can do what I want. I can go where I want. And it's just good. And it's all thanks to God. I am so grateful to God for giving me the means to be able to live my life the way I want and the way He ordained it to be. Because it's because of Him that I am here. And I'm grateful that He gave me the opportunity to have healing, because before it was like I was feeling the hopelessness that most of us feel right now, when and asking ourselves, what is it for me? What's in for me with epilepsy? But I'm telling you now, there is hope, guys. Do not give up because of this. There is hope. There is a way. Like God said, Jesus is the way, the life, the truth. And you can only have it through Him. You can have life through Him. And so I'm telling you now that with Him, you will have healing. So for this myth, our backup is in Isaiah 61:3. It says, "A crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning," affirming that God redeems our struggle. This verse hits very hard for me because it's exactly what God did for me. He turned my ashes to complete beauty. He turned my tears into joy, and He turned my darkness to light. In Romans 8:28, it reminds us that all things work together for good for those who love God. I Whenever I read this verse, I smile because it's exactly what God did for me. And I pray exactly that He would do it for you. So, your journey can become a testimony of resilience and faith. And this is exactly what I want us to do in this community, is to turn this journey of what's in for me to God did it. God did it. So let's recap. Medication isn't the only tool to heal epilepsy or to manage epilepsy. God gave us herbs. God gifted people to be able to guide us into the right path, to be able to manage epilepsy. Let's let's use His guidance. Let's go to Him for that guidance. And herbs need expert guidance, right? We can't just, although we can do it on our own, there's some other parts of it that we need, like maybe advice from someone. Even go to God, like I say, go to God for it. Look into a neurologist to ask them. Like I always, my last appointment, I asked my neurologist, like, what do you think about CBD? Before he told me it's a good idea, and we tried exploring to find means of how I can consume it more. Um, and in closing, epilepsy is not a curse, guys. It's not a curse. It's all about managing it and living with it, but also knowing you can enjoy life with it. Okay? It doesn't have to be a thing that comes in the way. Okay? You can manage life with it. So don't feel that is the end for you, because it's not. That is how I felt, and God said no. It's not your end, it's not your destiny. It's just something that you can manage and that I can heal. And indeed, He's healed me. And I'm grateful once again. So, if you are ready to dive deeper or to explore your options to be able to heal or manage epilepsy much more deeper, to reduce your amount of seizures or auras or any other thing that may be of issue to you in your epilepsy journey, I would love to guide you to my link to grab my ebook, Natural Pathways. I will put the link in the description below. You can check it out. I have everything in there that you will need to know to understand about um, herbs, holistic approaches, and everything in between. So thank you for watching my video, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think about this video and anything else that we all can learn or need to know about the myths and the journey with holistic care and herbs in epilepsy. Thank you so much, guys. I pray this video will be a very informative video for you guys, and also I pray for those that will decide to join me in this journey of natural pathways. I pray that it will help transform you for the better and will help in going into healing for you in epilepsy. Thank you for watching this video. Until next time, next video, have a blessed one and goodbye.